Right, so welcome again as I continue with trigonometric equations. So these are some of the sample questions that came in your paper 2 trigonometry. So how do you go about solving them? So these are coming from different ECZ exams where I extracted them. So I just want to show you how you can go about them now. So question 1 says solve the equation tan theta. So if you look at that, it says tan theta is equal to 0.7. But notice what they have given you, angles from 0 to 180. So your solution can only lie between 0 and 180. That is what they mean there. So in as much as we solve, we need to take this into consideration. Our angle should only be between 0 and 180. So remember, always find the angle in the first quadrant. So we're just going to say, how do I get theta? It is going to be tan inverse of 0.7. So it is going to be tan inverse of 0.7. that is going to, remember, angles are left one decimal place. We have got 34.99, so when you round it off, it is just going to give you 35.0 degrees. This is the angle that we are getting in the first quadrant. All right, so you go back and put up your quadrant. Remember, all students take coffee: first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So since tan is positive, where are we going to get, where will our theta lie? Where tan is positive, because this is a positive value. It's in the first quadrant and in the third quadrant. But remember, when you go, this is 0, 90 degrees, that is 180, and this is 270. If you look at 270 here, between 180 and 270, it goes beyond the boundary they have told me, meaning your solution will only come from the first quadrant. You will not pick up this one because it has gone above 180. So therefore your theta will only be equal to 35.0 degrees. So that is your solution there. So you only pick up that because of that boundary that you have actually been given. I hope you are together. Let's look at the big part, the second one, question number 2. It says find the angles between 0 and 90. Again, they have given you a limit. It's only between 0 and 90. So you can't go, between over 90 degrees. So angles should be less than 90 degrees, which satisfies. So they give you, in this case, cos theta is equal to 2/3. So get the angle in the first quadrant. So that would be cos inverse of 2/3. So theta would be equal to, so we can find in this case, so cos inverse of 2/3, the two angles to one decimal place, that would be 48.2 degrees. Now if you look at this one, because all students take coffee, remember, from 0 to 90 degrees, they told us angles between that. So meaning this is just the solution. We don't even need to go further because the angle, the restriction is between 0 and 90 degrees. So remember, the angle will just be that one. That is actually your solution that you get. Right. Question number 3 again there. So for question number 3, they tell you to say solve the equation. So they want you to solve sine theta, is equal to 0.6792. Now if you notice here, they have told us it's for one revolution from 0 to 360 degrees. So we are not restricted. So I'm going to say theta is equal to sine inverse of 0.6792. So theta will be equal to, so we can work out that one. So sine inverse of 0.6792. So that is what we mean. So what will that give you? Well, it is going to give you 42.8 degrees. Now, because they have not given us any restriction, if you go to your quadrant, all students take chemistry, you are going to find that where is sine positive in which quadrant. So it is in the first quadrant and in the second quadrant. That's what we mean. So how do you get in the first quadrant? This is the angle we get. So how do we get in the second quadrant? Remember what we said, it is 180 degrees minus the angle in the first quadrant. In this case, you just say minus 42.8. That is in the second quadrant there. So what will that give us? So it will be 180 minus 42.8. So that is going to give us 137.2 degrees. Therefore, my angles will be in the first quadrant, which was 42.8 degrees and 137.2 degrees. So these are your solutions that you are getting there. Right, I hope we are together and you're able to see what we're doing. So quadrants are important, they will help you. And take note of that number, whether it is positive or negative, it will tell you where the angle is going to be found. So let's move on and look at the fourth one again there. The fourth one there says, solve the equation. So they have given us 2 tan theta is equal to -3. So you solve it in the same way. For example, if you have 2x is equal to 4, how do you solve that? You divide by 2. So you do treat it also in a similar way there. So it's like to get that one, I'll divide to what I do this side, I'll do it the other side. So meaning it is going to be tan theta is equal to -3/2. Remember that negative is important, but ignore it to find the angle in the first quadrant. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 3/2. So what is tan inverse of 3/2? So it is going to be tan inverse, so that is going to be tan inverse of 3/2. That is giving me 56.3 degrees. Now according to where will the angle lie? All students take chemistry. Now because if you notice here, this had a negative, so they are telling you you are getting your angles where tan is negative. And remember, they have given you a restriction is between 0 and 180. So 0, 90 and 180. So you can't go beyond that one in that case. That's what we mean. So where is tan negative? So tan is negative in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant it is actually negative. So how do you get the angle in the second quadrant? Remember what we said, the angle is going to be equal to 180 minus the angle in the first quadrant, which is this one, 56.3 degrees. So it is going to be 180 minus 56.3 degrees, which will give us 123.7 degrees. So this is the only solution here, because where in this case tan is negative, it is actually yes in the second and also in the third quadrant. But remember the restriction between 0 and 180, it simply means you are going to focus on less than 80, which is in the second quadrant. That's the way you can get it there. Right, let's do our last question under these trigonometric equations that we do have there. So they have told us number 5 there to solve. So they want you to solve 13 cos theta is equal to 5. So remember what I said. First of all, you can work out that one, so that you just remain with cos theta, which is equal to 5/13. So how do I find theta? It is going to be equal to cos inverse of 5/13. So what is that going to give us? Cos inverse. So cos inverse of 5/13. So that is going to give us 67.4 degrees. So now because this was positive, so meaning we are getting our solution where where cos is positive, and angles there is no restriction between 0 and 360. So where is cos positive? In the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. That is where cos is positive. So how do you get the angle? I know the angle in the first quadrant is this one. How do I get the angle in the fourth quadrant? Remember, angle theta will be 360 minus the angle in the first quadrant, which is 67.4 degrees. So that is going to be 360 minus 67.4 degrees. So that will give us 292.6 degrees. So therefore my angles will be 67.4 degrees and 292.6 degrees. That is your solution. So you can see you just need more practice and you'll be able to do this trigonometric equation. Please, you can like and subscribe to my videos if you like them. Watch out for special angles and we'll show you how you can use them in your paper 1.